to you. This is an English edition of Dalsan TV. My name is Abdulrazak Ali. Let's have a look what we have prepared for you today. Somaliland blames Puntland for attacks as fresh fighting erupts in Las Anod. NCC adapts and revises security architecture, agrees to fast-track implementation. Somalia lender acquires 62.5% stake in Kenyan bank. And Somali Armed Forces commander visit Kenya Military Academy. Armed group and Somaliland forces has once again broke out this morning in Las Anod of northern Somalia. Dalsan TV reporter Yusuf Shire, who is in the troubled city of Las Anod, has confirmed the fighting flared up in Maraga locality on the outskirts of the town where Somaliland forces have a command center.
Fierce fighting between local armed vigilantes and Somaliland forces broke out this morning in Las Anod, northern Somalia. Dalsan TV reporter Yusuf Shire, who is in the troubled city of Las Anod, has confirmed the fighting flared up in the Maraga locality on the outskirts of the town where Somaliland forces have a command center. Speaking to Dalsan TV, Abdirazak Mohammed Ahmed, the spokesman of the 33 members of the Khartoum state, states that there will be no ceasefire as long as Somaliland forces continue to shell the civilians. Whatever that's happening in the city of Las Anod, Somaliland military will be held accountable. We are always ready for ceasefire, but Somaliland forces keep shelling and attacking us. He said that the local forces overran the base and captured weapons and ammunition, but Dalsan cannot independently confirm the claims. Although there are fatalities and casualties during today's clashes, the exact numbers are yet to be confirmed. Meanwhile, Somaliland authorities have accused the neighboring Somali semi-autonomous region of Puntland of launching attacks on the two of its army bases. Somaliland Defense Minister told journalists in Hargeisa that allied Puntland regional forces and other local fighters attacked army camps outside the restive town, adding that the breakaway region's troops seized military vehicles and weapons.
Now, Somaliland Premier Bank has acquired 65.2% stake in Kenya's First Community Bank Limited (FCB), as the Central Bank of Kenya has confirmed. The CBK said that Premier Bank is the first Somali bank to establish a majority-owned banking subsidiary in Kenya. Abdirahman Yusuf has more.
Somali lender Premier Bank has acquired 62.5% stake in Kenya's First Community Bank Limited, the Central Bank of Kenya stated on Friday. The Central Bank of Kenya said that the Premier Bank is the first Somali bank to establish a majority-owned banking subsidiary in Kenya. According to the Central Bank of Kenya, the Premier Bank's business model mainly focuses on retail, small and medium-sized enterprises, and corporates, and is among the largest banks in Somalia, accounting for 16% of the banking sector assets. The Central Bank of Kenya added that the First Community Bank was licensed to operate in Kenya in 2008 and is categorized as a small bank with a market share of 0.3% as of December 31, 2022. The Premier Bank Limited of Somalia, now the largest shareholder of the First Community Bank, was licensed in 2014 by the Central Bank of Somalia. The privately owned Sharia-compliant commercial bank operates a network of 20 branches. It provides retail banking services catering to small and medium-sized enterprises and corporates. This acquisition is poised to bolster the trade and investment ties between Kenya and Somalia, foster stability and growth in the financial sector, and enhance the resilience of Kenyan banking industry.
On the second day of his official visit, Somali National Armed Forces Commander General Othowai Yusuf Rage has made a series of visits to Kenya Defense Forces institutions of excellence in Nakuru and Nairobi, and also in Isiolo, after he had a familiarization tour of the School of Infantry in Isiolo yesterday. In Nakuru, the commander of the armed forces paid a visit to the Kenya Military Academy KMA, where he was received by Commandant Major General Fatuma Ahmed. Abdurrahman Yusuf has once again.
On the second day of his official visit, Commander of the Somalia National Armed Forces Brigadier General Odowa Yusuf Rage made a series of visits to Kenya Defence Forces institutions of excellence in Nakuru and Nairobi a day after he had familiarization tour of the School of Infantry in Isiolo yesterday. In Nakuru, the commander paid a visit to the Kenya Military Academy, where he was received by Commandant Major General Fatuma Ahmed. The commander and his entourage were later flown to Embakasi in Nairobi, where he visited both humanitarian peace support training centers and the Defense Forces Technical Training College. On each visit, General Odowa and his delegation were taken through elaborate briefs covering the institution's respective mandates, and extensive tour of the training facilities and programs with a scope spanning from the foundational to the advanced military training and education vital in shaping the modern-day soldier. The Kenya Defence Forces service personnel, who made presentations and practical demonstration to the visiting commander in each of the institutions, also shared experiences. All visits presented benchmarking opportunities and opened a platform for future exchange programs between the two militaries. On his part, Brigadier General Odowa expressed gratitude for a warm reception by the incisive tour of the Kenya Defence Forces. He further commended the institution he had visited as ideal model training centers that meets the demand of trainees to face contemporary security threats. The visit comes in the wake of the onset of a gradual drawdown of troops serving under the Africa Union Transition Mission in Somalia and the subsequent reconfiguration and training of Somalia security forces to take over the security mandate and responsibility from the ATMIS forces.
Now, the federal and state leaders meeting for 2 days this past week agreed to fast-track the operationalization of the national security architecture, which was approved by Parliament in 2017 and later revised in October 2022. The meeting, under the auspices of the National Consultative Council, however, deferred the subject of elections to May this year, when the council will be meeting soon. Federal and state leaders meeting for 2 days this past week agreed to fast-track the operationalization of the national security architecture, which was approved by Parliament in 2017 and later revised in October 2022. The National Consultative Council, however, deferred the subject of elections to May this year, when the council will be meeting again. On the National Security Architecture, NSA, the council said the architecture was adopted in May 2017 and also reaffirmed in October 2022, will focus on the number of troops, duties of security agencies, and order and sequencing the management of financial needs of security sector. On the number of troops, the SNA envisages the formation of 30,000 strong Somali National Army, excluding Special Forces, Navy and Air Force. These forces will be distributed along the boundaries of each federal member state. There will be 30,000 police officers, which will be distributed between the two levels of government, while the federal member states will also have their Darawish paramilitary units, which shall operate only within jurisdiction of each FMS. The ground forces will be made up of the 12th and 21st, 26th and 60th divisions. The NSA also says those who wish to join the military must be the age of 18 and will retire at the age of 62. Thank you for watching Dalsan TV. My name is Abdurrazak Ali, and have a lovely evening.